Welcome to Do the Thought podcast. This is a real estate podcast that teaches you regular people just like us how to invest in real estate. My own name is Hamed Lawal, and my co-host here today is Ibrahim Ojanide. Like we always shown and share with you, we are committed to making investment in real estate as seamless as possible. So, if you are someone looking into real estate investing, you don't know how to start, you've been always scared of one thing or the other, you have come to the right place. Like we always say every Friday, this is not a get rich quick scheme. You will have to put in the work, but I take it from me, it absolutely works. It does work, but it requires working. It's not just gonna do something, little thing, and it can happen, but a lot of time you will have to put in the work. Ibrahim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Um, so, guys, we appreciate you for tuning in our podcast tonight, and we want to let you know we have a special edition today. It is, I can say, this is the most important thing, um, important agenda that you need to set for the next year because we all have dream, we have plan, we have goals, we have things that we are inspired that inspired us and things that we are trying to achieve every single year. At the end of the day, this is just it's just a dream. If you don't set a goal and make it let it become reality, and some of the things that you need to do that everyone has really tested it and known that it is a proven strategy to achieve your goal is to set a goal. So tonight we want to show you how to set a goal. And you are not alone. We are going to talk about our goals and we're going to show you how it is practically so that you can literally get that framework and put it into practice. And we are going to be doing that tonight. So we want it to be interactive as much as possible. So you can come in and tell us, how you feel about your goals, or if there's anything you would like us to also add to our goals. I mean, we are very open to learning from you guys. Like we said, we are not perfect and we are here to learn and grow together. So thank you for coming in. I'm going to pass this to Ahmed because he's going to share with us all the important factors that we have to put in place. Because, like we said, it's not just you talking about it, it's just a dream without putting in a paper or outlined what you have to do to get to that, to make that goal become a reality. Ahmed, what are the things people have to put in place to make their goal become reality? Thank you.
Absolutely, Ibrahim. Tonight is about goal settings, like you already mentioned, and we are doing this because 2024 is just 2 days away, right? And after that 2 days, before you know it, it's going to be 2025 again. I can remember just like yesterday when we started 2023. So
Yeah.
this is one of the steps you have to do to make sure that the year 2024 is kind of that year of turnaround. And if you are on the turnaround already, this is actually another step that will propel you to move quicker to the goal that you are trying to achieve in year 2024. Because if you have a goal in your head, like, okay, I don't have to write it down, it's not a goal. How many times have we all have this mindset of, I'm going to do this, but just because you don't get yourself accountable by writing it down or telling a friend, we end up not doing it,
Yes.
right? That is why this is very, very important. So without further delay, there are things that when you are setting goals, you need to make sure you actually align your goal with, just to increase your chances of being successful, more achievable, making it a reality, not just a goal, right? That is the purpose of today, making your goal a reality, not just a goal. So these things are the ones that you will make it, more realistic, more achievable, more specific. So The number one thing when you are setting a goal is to make sure that goal is very specific. Don't worry if you don't understand what I mean right now, because we are going to actually sharing our 2024 goal with you, and we're going to be doing a deep dive into all these factors. So you might not, we are just listing it for now. So the number one thing is to make sure it is specific. The number two thing is to make sure it is measurable. How are you going to determine your progress while you are working towards that goal? The number three things is to make sure it is achievable. So is this something that you can actually bring to reality? Ask that question. So that is very, very important. And number four is this relevant to your big dream? One of my big dreams is at some point I don't want to work for anybody again. I want to have my businesses, have my investments. Are these goals that I'm setting today for 2024 relevant to that end dream? So that is what relevance mean. And the very last one of it is, what time is your deadline for this goal? So it needs to meet you need to have a certain time for them, in order to, not for it to be a dream, just a dream, but a goal. A goal needs to have a time. So after listing all this, I'm going to Ibrahim. So these are the 5 key components that makes a goal and makes it different from a dream. So let's expatiate on this for our audience. Let's explain it more by showing them our goals and aligning it with this standard, so that they know how to now set their own goal as well. Ox, all right, Ibrahim, do you want to get us started?
Yeah, I can. I appreciate the opportunity. So, guys, I have 5 major goals for 2024.
Writing
And
down.
I'm gonna share the 5 major. Yeah, yeah. I said major because literally many people, just like you and I, we have more than 5 goals. But
Absolutely.
we know this podcast. I mean, if we want to talk about goals, we're probably gonna finish it like in the next 5. It might take up to 5 hours. So we want to just go and dive into our major goals. And we feel like these 5 goals, I mean, particularly me, I feel like these 5 goals, if I turn them to reality, um, my family, myself will benefit from it tremendously. So I chose
Absolutely.
this 5 because I'm very keen into making them into reality. So the first one is I want to open a tax savings account. Now, how do I want to achieve this? The first thing is I identify the bank that I need to go to. I'm going to Everwise Credit Union, which it used to be Teachers Credit Union. I have a business account that is going to let me create a tax account because I want it to be under my business. So it's going to be my business tax account. I have, finished all the registration, like, EIN and all those numbers. I have all those. I have my IDs and everything. I'm planning to do this next week. And when I mean next week, probably before Friday, um, next week, I'm planning to get it done. Before on the 6th, I'm planning to get it done. Um, Everwise is close to my house, about 10 minutes. So I already identify where I'm going. Um, Also, I need that because I know it's going to help me save some money for taxes. I realize at the end of the year, I, I barely have enough for my taxes. So I don't want to run into this kind of issue next year. So I'll definitely open a tax levy account. Now, the second one, it is to open a brokerage office. I do have a home office, but I want to open a brokerage office. Currently, I'm working on the things I have to do to make it happen. But I have already identified all those factors that I have to eat to make sure it comes to reality. One of them is I've planned to save money every month, save about $2,000 a month. That's my plan. Okay. And what I budget, realistically, what I budget for this is $12,000. But I kind of give myself some kind of a buffer budget, which is I in my mind I'm thinking 20K, but I know if I have 12,000, I'm gonna make it happen. So
So,
so in my goal setting, I make it at least $2,000 a month. But like I said, if I have the opportunity to add more to it or anything, I'm okay. But at least 2,000 a month because I'm trying to set up this office by June, ending of June. So technically, 6 months from now, I'm gonna eat that $12,000. However, let's say um, I made more sales or I eat the lottery or something like that. The extra money comes in, then I might be able to do some extra design, extra resources and everything in the brokerage. But at least if I have 12,000, I'm gonna make it look unique and acceptable as much as possible. Also about documentation and about how to actually do all the legal work and everything. I have identified the brokerage company. So I used to deal with our properties. I've planned to reach out to some of the top managing broker, and then actually one of the owner, just go and talk to them and get some of pick some of their brains on how to set a brokerage to a professional standard and everything. So my goal, like I said, my goal is to make it happen the end of June. Before June, by maybe let's say March, that's when I'll take those move and go to those companies and talk to them. And of course, if I see anyone before that time, let's say I coincidentally come across anyone at all who owns a brokerage company, I'll kind of like share with them my goals and my aspiration to become a to own a brokerage company and try to see what I can gain from them. So I've kind of set up those in my mind, and I need to work to make sure it becomes a reality. Another thing is I I I have the I so this is not right now, but I know that few people would like to join me when I create a brokerage, but I don't put that in my goal right now because I will let that flow in after I create a brokerage company. So I'm not worried about that now. I'm just worried about setting it up, make sure the legal work is done, make sure it's acceptable to my taste and to my client and potential client taste, and of course, and I'll keep it running. So the third one is pay off my debt. Now, the reason why I put this as a third is because typically people will say this is the first thing they want to do, but the reason why I put it as a third is because I know me. I like I practice something called velocity banking. So I pay off my debt, but I don't necessarily pay off all my debt. Like I pay off debt at the same time I use debt to just leverage on debt to make things happen. So I know for sure I cannot pay my debt to $0 because if I pay even before it's $0, I'll get another debt. Try to make sure my balance is below 30%. That way, it won't hurt my credit. However, I'm using it to leverage my business or my personal um, stuff. So it's the third one because I know I will not be able to. I cannot just pay it off like that. The way I do it, I'll pay it off to less than 30%. Whenever I want to spend more money, I pay it off a little more and and spend. It helps my credit. It helps me just because, and again, I don't use debit card. When I go to the store or any place, I use credit. Credit card is completely protected, 100%. I barely like I don't carry my credit card for real. I just lock it up in my fire safe box in the house. So I use debit when I have to withdraw money from the bank and maybe it's late in the night or something like that. But I use credit card. So credit card, I'm gonna pay the debt down to 30% or less. That is the goal. Um, am I gonna be able to pay it off before I open a professional off a brokerage office? I'm not sure I'm gonna pay everything off. Like I said, I'm just so I give so on my goal I set out to be September. By September, I'm gonna make sure all my debt is less than 30% in the balance, like the
So
balance.
I have a quick question when
Sure, sure,
regarding that.
sure.
So let's talk about just the debt, not the balance on the credit card.
Sure.
Can you be specific on the percentage you want to
Oh, okay.
get the debt? So,
Okay.
okay, let's
So,
say you on all your debt now right now, I want to pay 90%, I want to pay 70%, I want to pay
mhm,
80%. So
yeah.
that makes it more specific.
So right now I wanna my debt, I wanna pay. It's hard to say. I did not calculate the number of percentage I want to pay, but what I can tell you that is measurable is I want to pay the debt to be less than 30% of my utilization limit. For example, I have a car that is 25,000. So I have to make sure the balance is less than, so 25 divided by 100. So I have to make sure the balance is less than 7,500. And when it's less than 7,500, the credit bureau will not penalize you. You get more points. And of course, if um, your bank or anywhere you go to, they look at you as a very credible someone. When you're keeping zero balance all the time, it doesn't necessarily make you more credit worthy. It depends on your history, how many credits you've established, and how strong you pay back your debt. That's what they all look at. So, but it's good to have zero balance. That's not my point here. My point is that it's not just that. It's about how many credit line you have. How have you been managing them? They want to see you as that, that a strong individual that knows how to manage, and that kind of help you to get more. Go ahead.
So I want, sorry I interrupted you. I want to
Sure.
point something that you said out. It's very powerful, but you went over it really quickly. People might not understand why you are paying down the debt, but you just tell us why.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why is now you don't necessarily have to pay it off 100% like he said, but what that does to his overall goal is now it make him credit worthy in
Yeah.
bank. Now he can leverage more. Now bank trust him more. So
Hmm.
people will be like, why paying off debt is going to be a goal? That is why, because that will shows that you are disciplined and all these other people can trust you with their money.
Yeah.
Sorry I cut you off. I just want to point
No,
that
you
out to
did.
our audience so that they can understand why this supports your overall dream.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with
Go
that.
ahead.
That's
Sorry.
very, yeah, I agree with that. So, yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna pay that, make sure all my credit is less than 30%. Um, would that make it 20? Yeah, I can make it 20% or less, but at least I'm gonna get to that bracket where credit bureau they will not penalize me and they actually give me more points just because I'm using my credit um properly the way they want it to be. So when do I want to achieve this? Here I set it up to be by September, and here's the reason why I make it September. I know for sure when I'm working on my brokerage office, I'm gonna have to buy some stuffs. And like I said, I don't use debit; I use credit. So I know definitely I'm gonna use that credit to buy some stuffs, even though I have the money in my account. I don't use credit. I pay it back. So me doing that, like I said, it makes me more credit worthy as long as I'm following the rules, which is make sure your balance is less than 30% every month. And as long as you are doing that, you are good. So so I know for sure until after I'm done with my brokerage office, that is when I will be free, like there will be less traffic on my credit cards. And when it's less traffic on it, I can pay off all this balance again to less than 30%. Um, how do I want to do this? For sure, I want to make more sales. It comes to the next one, which is I want to make more sales. I'm a real estate broker. Everyone knows that. So what I'm my goal is to market myself as much as possible, keep providing exceptional service for my clients, try to be there for them anytime, any day, even when it is not particularly related to real estate, or even if it's real estate related, but it might not be my job necessarily. I mean, like there are some things that are loan officer related, some job are like appraiser related and inspector and all that. But the fact that I have that knowledge, the fact that I'm a resource for them, I will step in and try to make sure they get that information, or they get that services, or they get that, um, um, that whatever they want, that that tax they have in mind. I'll make sure it um, comes to them. They achieve it. So also, I will try to do a lot of open houses this year. It's still part of the sales. Actually, I'm doing one on the 6th of January. I'm going to do open house with DR Harting. And then this, I'm stepping up by getting a builder house to do open house. They just don't let that happen to anybody. Like or as a realtor, you cannot just go, and you can go there, but they won't just accept you like that. They look at your credibility, look at how many sales you've been making, and how valuable you are to that company. They will use that to determine if they will let you use their property, because that property, it literally belongs to a builder. So I'm gonna start using that and reach out to a couple more builders. And me doing those open houses, it's gonna get me more clients. And when I get those clients, of course, when I provide a exceptional service, be there for them. I mean, be with them when they need me, when they are in need of anything. It's gonna help with my referral. We all know there's nothing as important as word of mouth. Just like you told me one time, and it stuck to me. Word of mouth is very powerful, So me being there for them and provide my services genuinely, it's gonna bring me more clients. So
Absolutely.
do I have a number of sales that I'm trying to eat? Honestly, I have 40. From the buyer side and the seller side, it's totally 40. Like from selling and buying, but I cannot tell you if buy side will be 20 or this one will be 40. It's hard to really say um it's hard to really say which one will come this number and this one with them. But I know the total sale, I'm trying to target 40. I'm more of buyer agent, because I specialize in buying than selling. But I'm gonna get into selling more this year. Actually, I have a contract coming in the next week. It's a condo. But anyway, back to our topic. I'm trying to get more sales, get at least 40 sales this year. I mean next year. And those 40 sales is gonna help me to achieve the goal of getting my professional office. Um, by the end of the year, that's when it's gonna be that 40. So this goal, it's extended goal. It's gonna be until December 31st before I
Yep.
can really sit down and look at all those numbers. The next one, for time's sake, I'm trying to buy at least two investment properties. Now, how do I want to achieve this? Of course, it's still part of me when I save money. After making some sales, save money, and try to see how I can get a property that will work for my investment. We've been talking about it. We are investors in this podcast, and we are not just talking. We put into, we do it, and what we've learned from it is what we are sharing with you guys. So I'm gonna try to get two properties at least this year, and it's going to be for middle term leasing, probably with short term and mid term. Now, how do I want to get that? I'm gonna save money, go to the MLS, look for houses. By the end of the year, this is like also an extended one, because um, our job is not, you cannot tell how much, particularly how much you're gonna make this month. You can make two sales this month, next month you make six, or four next month, or you make two. So to be realistic, it's more it's better for me to make it like a 12-month framework for to getting these two properties, but at least two. Can I get three or four? Yeah, if the opportunity comes, I'll grab it. but at least I want to get two. Do I know the price range? Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want anything beyond 250,000. Do I know a location? No. What I'm my goal is to get at least one house in each township. That's my goal, because the kind of business I'm trying to do, it doesn't really. It's a middle town listing. I mean, I'm trying to target those insurance companies, relocation specialists. There's everywhere. There's always a fire or flood issue in every township. So must it be downtown? No, I don't really care too much of that, but I'll try to get in each township. A good township that is, that has a lot of economy activity going on there. However, it doesn't have to be downtown. Um, and now I want to target bigger houses. Um, you know, the biggest I have right now for business about 1,000, no, 1545. Now I want to go 1,500 higher. I don't want to go less than 1,500. So because I've seen a client that came to my house, someone who needs a 4 to 6 months housing, temporary housing, just because of fire in their property. The feedback was, your house is beautiful, very nice. However, it's too small for my family. That was the feedback. So as an investor, we learn from feedback to get better in the future. So my goal now is to buy property from 1,500 or higher. So what else again? It's I've measured that. The only thing, like I said, I cannot specify when I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be within 12 months, just because of the
So
way
before December.
before December, just because the way our job is. I have to be really, the goal is not just to say it. You have to make sure it's gonna work, just because of the way things are around you or the situation you find yourself. With the kind of
Absolutely.
job I'm doing, I cannot time that. It's tough. I can time the office because I already applying for that. This one, I know for sure. Or maybe I can see seller financing. It doesn't have to be me buying the cash. I can do seller financing. Now, the last one is the getting better with my midterm leasing. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm trying to get at least 6 more contracts in each properties. So in each property, how do I do that? I'm gonna try to. I'm almost done with my website. The desktop site is done, which is if you go on computer and try to check my website, is done. Now we're working on the mobile, because it's kind of different a little bit, because the way they set it up and everything. So the mobile will be done probably next week or some days after today. And when this is done, I'm going to put them in a flyer, post on social media, go to this insurance of company offices, go with some goodies, and try to be nice, promote your business as much as possible. When I'm going to do this, I am going to be doing this every month, like at least 2 days in a month. I'm going to go to all their offices as much as I can. Maybe I might go to Progressive today, tomorrow I go to other ones and all that. So when I do all this, it's going to help me to publicize my business. Like, they'll be aware in case there's a fire in a location, they'll reach out to me, or they'll send me or give me a contact of the specialists they are using, because some of them, they literally don't make business with you directly. They give the contract out to an agencies, and those agencies are the ones you need to reach out to let them know that your property is furnished and is available in that area, so that when a disaster, natural um, or human-made disaster happens, those people can come to your house. Those family can live there. It's a temporary housing, and we've been doing this, and it's been working. So those are the goals. And because of time, I will let Ahmed to share his goals with us, and hopefully um, we also can learn from it. Ahmed, can you start with your goal?
Yeah, that was a yeah, that was a roller coaster. You took us so deep into 2024, and we actually love it.
Thank you.
So if you are just joining us, thank you for joining the Talk podcast. We really appreciate. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, Do the Talk podcast on YouTube. Please do. What we are discussing today are 5 key components that your goal needs to meet to actually become a goal. not just
Yeah.
a dream. A
I
dream
totally.
is the bigger picture, but you need goals that walk you daily towards that big dream. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to repeat the guidelines so that our new audience that just joined will be able to follow us with it. Every goal needs to be specific. It
Yeah.
needs to be specific, just like Ibrahim just walk us through his goal for 2024. Those goals are very specific. You walk up through the they are measurable. How he's going to do it, what he's going to be looking for along the line for the progress of achieving that goal. The third thing is after being specific, measurable, the third thing is it achievable? You need to make sure your goal is achievable. And another one is relevancy. How relevant are those goals to your big dream? So that is the fourth part of it. The last one is timing. Every goal must have a end date. If it doesn't have a end date, it is a dream, not a goal.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure your goal meets those five criteria. When they meet those five criteria, that is the standard for a goal. Every goal needs to meet them. So
Yeah.
I haven't repeat that. I believe you guys really we understand what we are discussing and how we are measuring those standards. Number one goal for me is to have, so I have a business right now called Asio Property. What we do at Asio Property is we help people manage their renters. So if you have a renter property, you have Airbnb, you have midterm renting that you are running right now. Maybe it's making you sales, but you want to go ahead and acquire more property, and this is tying you down. We help you manage it. So what my goal for 2024 is to have 100 door under management. That doesn't mean 100 houses. 100 door means it can be 12 units here, there can be 3 units here, there can be one here, there can be single family. But we want to have 100 door under management because that is how we roll. So 100 door under management, how do we plan to do it? So we plan to increase our marketing strategy into houses that have been on market for a while, reaching out to those people that want to sell their house. Why have they not been able to sell it? Would they consider us managing it for them? That is one way. Another way is to increase our presence on the internet. Everybody trusts Google. Even things that you can't tell your wife or your husband, you tell Google because that is where you go. You want to learn more about it. Everybody tell Google. So the first approach that people take when they don't know things is they go on their phone and they search for it, right? So we want to maintain a huge presence on the internet so that when people search for looking for property manager in an area that we service, guess what comes up? Us. So that is our approach. When do we want to make sure this is achieved? By the end of 2024. Is it achievable? Yes, it is. Is it going to be tough? Yes. So, but being tough doesn't make it not realistic or achievable. So, that is number one. The following one is to pay 70% of my bad debt. So, this is very specific. 70%. I'm not going. If I have the opportunity, I can go above that to make sure I have wiggle rooms and just like I mentioned earlier, because you need to make sure in this kind of business, you need to make sure bank they trust you more, they have confidence in you. And how can you do that is to make sure you are managing the current credits that you have very well. By making sure you manage it very well, then that will show your credibility and credit worthy. And overall, you'll be able to acquire more loans to buy more property that bring you more cash flow, right? So that is how that supports my overall goals. But I want to make sure by June of next year, 2024, I paid off 70% of those bad debts, because the other part of of the year, my mission is to have 8 door renter for myself, shooting for four units, eight units, 12 units, is to have. So the other part is to go back into the arena looking for property and buying it for myself. I'm still in the arena, I'm still doing it, but I want to make sure I give myself room to leverage more. So you need to make sure you are being specific, it is measurable, it is achievable, it is relevant. At the same time, you give yourself time. You see how I split the year up into two and make sure the first one is to pay off the bad debt. The second part is to go get back in the arena and make sure I can, acquire more property as well. So another one is make sure I attend one real estate convention this year. So I want to make sure, we always preach on this podcast to go out to meet people. If you want to play the big boys games in the arena that those guys are playing in, you need to actually get in the room with them, let them show you what they are doing, and that way, you keep the morale up, you keep the energy up, you keep your head up at the same time, because it's going to get tough. If you are playing small, things might be linear with you, but if you are playing big, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, because if it is easy, everybody will be doing it. So those are the four major goals that I have. But remember, they need to be specific. You see how we have a laid down plan, you know so this first month, this is what I'm doing. This month, this is what I'm doing. The very first 6 months, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be in the arena looking for property as well. Just like Ibrahim said, who knows, seller finance might call your way, subject to might fall on your lap. But if you are not actually looking, you will not see them. So that is why you still need to keep searching as well. So those are the goals that I have for 2024. We still have some time. Another thing that I want to point out is it is very why these 5 things are very huge. It is also huge to make sure that you have your action plan down to daily and weekly. It is very, very important. What do I mean by that? So if you want to get 100 property, 100 door under management by June, by ending of the year, that means you have 12 months to do it. In 12 months, if you divide 12 months by 100, the 100 divided by 12, that will be giving us around 8-ish, right? So if you have to acquire 8 door every month, that means in 30 days, you really need to be in a week, you need to be getting 2 doors. So that is how you can measure the goal and make sure the goal align with your overall dream, right? So you really need to take actions that move you towards that goal. Why I said take action that move you towards that goal, I want to remind you that don't be fixed on the goal. Don't be rigid on your goal. Be rigid on your growth. Be rigid on your growth, because at some point, those goals might not actually be what you're going to achieve. You're going to achieve more, something bigger than what you actually said. So don't be just like, I want to buy a Kia Sedona. I just want Kia Sedona. That is what I want. And someone is offering you Highlander that have 3 seats, and it's a very huge car, 2023, and you said no, I just want Kia Sedona. So that is what I mean by don't be fixated on the goal, be fixated on the growth, because the growth will move you towards the dream as well, and even more. So it is very, very important to make sure you work towards your goal, but make sure you are not rigid. You are keeping the side eye open for other opportunities that are going to be passing by at that same time. So those one doesn't miss you as well. Ibrahim, do you have anything to chime in on that?
Yeah. I found that interesting when he said, "Don't be fixated on your goals, but on your growth." That makes sense because literally you are saying you have to be flexible because when you are stuck with one thing. This is what you want to do, and because of that, you close your eyes from seeing other, avenue that can bring you that can make your goal come to reality. So you have to be open-minded and make sure you ask questions. This is very powerful. You have to be open-minded and ask questions. The worst case scenario is people will tell you, "Oh, I don't know," and if they say, "I don't know," trust me, it's not over there. You can say, "Okay, do you know someone who knows?" That alone is very big, because the goal is not to, like, because that person does not know. Like I said, it's not the end of the thing. The next person that he or she may refer you to may be the person that will open the door for you. So it's good to ask, like, okay, do you know someone who may know? You know. And I want to say something. This is very critical, because Ahmed, you've talked about you want to get 100 doors, under your property management company. For some people out there, they look at 100, that's huge. But I want them to realize that, hey guys, when you sit down and relax your back and think about it one more time, you realize it's not that deep. It's something that is achievable. Plus, you are part of the factor, the resource that Ahmed and I would depend on. Because here's the thing, we always provide value for each other. That's one thing about investment. We are here to provide value to you. We come every Friday. We give you this practical knowledge, because these are something that is working. We've tested it. We see that is real. It's gonna work. Just go through the path and put in the work. You're gonna get there. In fact, you're gonna grow you know significantly. You would not you can never imagine how big it is. Real estate is very the potential is limitless. So where am I getting to? Where I'm getting to is this: when you mention 100 doors, you can become a value add to Ahmed and myself. Now, particularly, I'm talking about Ahmed because he want 100 doors under his management. This is your where you can play your part. This is where you can come in. I'm sure you have a property that is giving you a headache. Why don't you talk to Ahmed? Let him see what he can do. Probably he's gonna get you more cash flow. That's another thing. Because
Yep.
when you're a property manager, you know the in and out, you know all different strategies that can bring, depending on the area, the condition of the house, and everything. He can advise you what to do so you can earn more money. At the same time, you gonna have this rest of mind because somebody is managing this property for you. Better yet, you have friends, you have family, you have co-workers, you have a neighbor that is complaining about, oh, he hopes he can get his tenant out because his tenant, um, you know, there's no enough cash flow in this business and all that stuff. Talk to your property manager. Hey, guy, I have Ahmed that can help you. Just tell people about it. You providing value to him by getting someone who in needs of property management, he will appreciate it. And guess what? He will continue to provide value to you on this podcast and also in physical. Like you can call him. And so, real estate, like I said, you provide value to me, I provide value to you. So, my point here is that it is very achievable. In fact, he can get more than 100 doors if all of us play our part. Because all we have to
Absolutely.
do is to tell people about what each and every one of us is doing. By doing so, we all gonna grow together. And remember, we always talk about this. The goal here is to learn and grow together. So we all just need to play our part. And
Absolutely.
myself, I'll keep playing my part. And I'm sure Ahmed, you'll keep playing his part too. You
Doesn't
know,
hurt anything.
yeah, yeah, I mean, the truth is, you providing that value, in fact, is making you to be part of the people that when he's doing like like a Thanksgiving or testimonial, he will recommend, like he will remember how significantly you have helped him, and he can say, okay, so person, he has been with my company, he stood by our side, it's been a great support for our company. It's a good thing. Like at the end of the year, when people do this appreciation night and they mention your name, I see that as a valuable thing. So I love to provide value to other people, because at the end of the day, we all gonna grow together and make enormous impact into our life. So my point is, any goal that you set, that that you can achieve it, you make it precise, you make it you know you put a deadline to it, it is doable. All it might take is to work with people. And here I'm saying, let's all work together and make sure our goals comes to reality. We are
Absolutely.
giving our goal out there just because we want you guys to see how it looks like and how you can make it work. We want your support. We need your support. So keep supporting us. We'll appreciate it. Ahmed.
Yeah, so you said something very powerful. I want to go back to it. Sorry, I'm going back so
Oh,
much
that's
today,
okay. It's okay.
but you move so quickly that if someone doesn't, pay attention, they might not catch it, and it is very powerful. Those words that you said are very, very powerful. So let me tell a story real quick. So you called me up one day and you said there is a woman that wants I've been having a bad experience with property manager,
Mhm.
and we talked about it. Today that person is with us, and today the tenant we put in that person house make a payment, and I was happy.
Yeah.
I was happy because I'm going to be able to make that person happy. You
Yeah.
see how the you create that happiness
Mhm.
trickle effect, and now it's boiling down to me, to
Yeah.
you. Because
Mhm.
guess what, if that person need a real estate advice, they come
Mhm.
to you. If
Yeah.
it is, even if they come to me, if it is something that is not in my domain, I'll be like, I know someone that can do it.
Yeah.
I tell people now that I provide real estate agent services.
Yeah.
Ask me why I do that.
Why?
Because I have you in my network. I can always, even if they bring it to me, I can always tell them, yeah, we have an in-house real estate agent. That is how I
Mhm.
put it. We have an in-house real
Mhm.
estate agent that can handle it for you.
Yeah.
Because I know there is someone that is capable and reliable that can provide that service. You see how helping other people will help you to achieve your
Yes.
goal?
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
it. That is
Yeah.
it, guys. So if you put out value, they have a way of finding their way back to you.
Yes. Yes.
If you put out positivity, they have their way of finding their way back to you. And if you put out the other ones too, I don't want to mention it on here because we are not represented by that. We don't stand for it. It will find its way back to you. So there's something in our community about competition. This guy bought a new car, I have to buy it. This guy buying. If it is good thing, why not?
Mhm.
Ibrahim is doing 100 million a year. I want to do 100 million too. Why not? Right? We want to grow together, right? But if it is a bad thing, keep it away, because or even stay away from it yourself. Because what that we do is we build up hate, anger in you, and we even occupy the space, a majority of the space in your brain that you won't even be able to think of way forward. So I know we are talking about goal setting, but why that is how that is aligned to what we are saying is actually help others
Yeah.
to help you.
Yes.
Because directly or indirectly you are helping them, it's going to, there's no way, it's always going to find its way back to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw that today and I'm like, thanks to Ibrahim. At the same time, I'm happy that I will be able to put smile to
Mhm.
someone else when that
Yeah.
money hits my bank, because I'll be able to pay and now she's happy too. She doesn't have to do with the headache anymore. She doesn't have to find tenant or screen them anymore. There was a time that we are screening a tenant and she's like, oh, let's just take her like that. And I'm like, no, you pay me to find you a good tenant and I'm gonna go do just that.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, you went through it very quickly. So I want to bring it back. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
help other people, it will come back to you. there's no way it will find. It might not be that person that will pay you back, but it will find its way back to you. So that's one thing I want to put out, and I just want to take this opportunity as well to thank you for this year. You know, you are the first person to reach out to me that let's do this podcast. I have it in my plan, but I'm not executing it yet. You know, you bringing that out now, imagine how many people we have been able to pass this knowledge to. I have a lot of people calling me during the week. Hey bro, I saw your, even the person I never know, the person that live in my neighborhood just saw a video and he got interested and he's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. I get to advise people, I get to share that knowledge. I believe the same with is happening to you too. But thank you for making this a reality. You know, I know at some point this will turn around to benefit us, benefit people around us, benefit our family too. But if you don't take that initiative, we're probably not going to be here. That is one thing I'm mentioning right now. If you find a way to provide values to other, they have a way of finding their way back to you. Those value, those positivity, those things that you don't even expect from it, because a lot of good people do things that they don't expect anything to, they don't expect to gain anything out of it. So thank you, Ibrahim. It's been a pleasure working with you throughout this year. Going into 2024, I can't wait to see amazing things we're gonna do together.
Yeah.
But guys, always provide value. Always help other that want to grow. If they want to grow, why not? Why can't we all grow together? There's no reason, right? We can all grow together. Ibrahim, do you have anything you want to chime in? Because I
Yeah,
kind of
time is running. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
So I just want to say, I want to challenge every one of us. We've talked about it, but I think this is a challenge time. We all can help each other to grow. Like I said, $100 is nothing. All we have to do is recommend, like refer people that you know they are stressing over their property. Is your property will get you more revenue. They will stabilize the property for you and literally show you the strategy that will work for you. At the end of the day, you will be the one that will pick what strategy you want, but they will show you practically this is the one that will work professionally in this area or that will hand you more money. They'll give you the professional advice. Then you pick which one works for you and they will run it for you. Okay. So as long as you're following the professional advice and everything, you will come back smiling because they are doing it. They know how it works. It's like you have some problem going on in your body and you don't want to go and see a doctor just because you're feeling like, okay, it might be expensive. I don't think that's the best idea. The best idea is to reach out to that person first. Talk to that person. And after you reach out to that person, then you know what it entails. And after you know what it entails, that will help you to determine what you want to do. What about if I tell you this? Let me tell you this. Do you know that your property you can literally turn into any kind of real estate strategies, like any kind of business? And these people will tell you, if you do it this way, you make so amount. If you do it that way, you make so amount. If you do it like this, and when they table everything out for you, trust me, you will be amazed because
Absolutely.
you probably know, you heard it before, but you don't know the practical, you don't have the analysis. You don't see how much it is. So their job is to help you and take off the headache. I mean, nobody wants to be having a headache on properties and all that stuff. Let them and do that for you. So my point here is we all can stand beside each other and uplift each other goals. So my challenge today is go out there, talk to people about Azure properties. Of course, IB Realtors, what I do is help people to buy and sell properties. I'm more of a buyer agent, but this year I'm going towards seller. But anything concerning real estate, you can give me a call. So that's all I have to say tonight. And we really appreciate you guys for tuning in. And please, we are appreciating you joining us. We want more people to subscribe to our channel. I mean, you guys did a very fantastic job by pushing us to 100 or more followers, and we want more than that, of course. We want this to be beneficial to a lot of people. We want to spread this message as far as we can go, and with your support, it's limitless. We know that. So please, please, please share this video, share our YouTube channel, share as much as you can help us. We will appreciate it. And believe us, we also are ready. We're always ready to provide value back to you guys. Our number is there. Our address where you can reach out. My look at IB Reuters is there. You can DM me, call me. We will be there for you guys. So we want you to support us. Ahmed.
Yes, quickly, I want to go over the standard for goal setting one more time because I see that we have some new people that join. Make sure when you are setting your goal, they are very specific. You don't just say, I want to buy a car. How many do you want? When do you want it? Make sure they are specific. Make sure they are measurable. Your goals are measurable. Make sure they are achievable. Make sure they are relevant to your overall dream, and make sure you put time at the end of it. Even if they meet every single checklist, if they don't have time, it is just a dream. It is not a goal. A goal needs to have a timeline that you need to go back and measure it and see if you meet that goal or not. By saying that, thank you guys for 2023. This is episode 34. That is a long way from where we started from, but we look forward to 2024 with you guys. What Ibrahim was saying earlier, if you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, please do, because that is how we reach more people. This message, that is how we can get this message across to more people. That is how more people can benefit from all these messages that we are putting out, all this knowledge that we are putting out about real estate. That is how more people can benefit from it. And just look at it as if you are helping your neighbor. You know, if you subscribe, now someone in your network can be reached, and now they can benefit from this information as well. And when they do, think about it as if you are putting out the positive energy. It has a way of finding its way back to you. It's going to come around and come to you in a good and positive form. Until next week, until next year, we're going to see you. Stay blessed. Bye, guys.
Bye.